Hey everyone, and welcome to IG8 Live Esports. Today we're live with a bit of an announcement on this one that we're working with here. So currently we're live with Rapid Pixel Racing, and this is a GP2 division. Now the GP2 division, guys, used to be what we used to call NHR here on the channel when we used to stream for New Horizon Racing. So there's been a bit of a merger between Rapid Pixel Racing and New Horizon Racing. And New Horizon Racing is now under the GP2 division for RPR. So we're gonna see two different divisions run out of RPR on 2 different days. The GP2 division will still run on their regular Friday schedule that they used to as NHR. So we'll still be seeing them. We'll still be seeing the same set of names as they used to have before. So we got a full grid of 20 drivers heading out on track here already, and this is round 8 of 22 for the current season for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, and we're getting started with our short qualifying session here already. We got a lot of cars getting out on track very early off in this session for qualifying right now as well. I think that's because it's a short qualifying session. They want to get a move on with it, and it is a bit of a tight track here for Azerbaijan for a street circuit track. So it is going to prove to be quite an interesting race for us from our end at least. I'm not sure how good this is going to be for the drivers, but it is a pretty good track to drive around. A little bit less difficult than Monaco than what we had on the previous week. So we look forward to see what these guys are going to be putting out here on track for us this evening. But it should be quite a competitive grid still, even with a tight track as this. So we're going to have a lot of fun watching this. It currently looks quite a bit cloudy here on track right now for this qualifying session. I'm not sure if there's expected to be any sort of rain during the session, or maybe just a bit of a cloudy afternoon for them. I'm not sure if the rain is going to come in the race or not, or if it's going to be dry. We did make a bit of a joke about it being a bit wet in the race, but let's see if that's going to happen for real or not. But either way, let's see what our grid lineup looks like. Let's just get a few stats up on screen so we can have a look on what's going on during our qualifying session here. So we're going to have some drivers start to get started with their hot laps here very soon. So let's see, we got for our grid, we got Scotty, we got Johnny Stokes on it, we got Frank Efron back there, we got Big Irish Smokey, we got Vagilis, Darson, we got Lister, we got Aljudifa, quite a lot of names that we're used to here. We got Dory Barry, we got Wooly Mama there, James Owl back on the grid there, Night Sniper, Crooksy, we got Epic Lad there, new name for us here, Rob Simray, so we got TNE Hawk, Mass Baron, Raceway, and Love Hate Games. So quite an interesting grid. Really happy to see it's 20 drivers on this grid there as well. So let's get on to some of these guys who are currently running on their hot laps here right now. So I think majority of our grid is currently out on track. We got just maybe about 3 or 4 drivers who are still in the pits and probably gonna get out of the pits there in any minute now. So let's keep an eye on everyone as they get around. We're gonna have quite a few lap times start to come in here. I think one after the other as these guys get over the line and start to make their lap times in. So it's going to be interesting to see how the grid lines up in terms of how close these lap times are going to be for qualifying. We got just about 14.5 minutes left now in this qualifying session. Remember, it's a short qualifying session, guys. We started off with just 18 minutes to work with here. So these guys got to move on with it and try to get their lap times in as soon as possible to make sure they can avoid any mistakes or such invalidated laps and whatnot and still get a good time in. As we're following Frank Efron right now, going around on his hot lap here, and it's going to be quite a busy track. They might get into a bit of traffic at some points here as well, but hopefully they get through pretty well and they can get their qualifying lap over with very quickly. So let's see what sort of lap times we're about to start seeing here, because we're in sector 3 here right now, getting around these final few turns and about to get onto that straight. And there we go now, heading straight off to the finish line. And let's see, quite a long straight down here. Very good overtaking opportunity around this part of the track as well. Oh, and someone's out of the session already. That is James Owl. His car is out. Let's see what lap times look like so far. So we got Frank here from 139.7 so far, fastest in the session. Big Irish goes 142. Aljun now goes 143. Let's see who else is coming in. Where is Vagilis at the moment? So he's still coming around sector 2. Got a few more guys getting over the line there right now. Rob just went 143.3. Doherty 141. Lister 142. And who else we got coming? We got a few more guys coming around, I know for sure, right now. Unfortunately, James out of this session so early off on his first attempt at a lap there. But that's how it's gonna go in terms of a track like this one. It is a street circuit, guys. It's pretty tight around here still. Not as bad as Monaco, I would assume, but it's a bit easier on my end, I would say. But still, a really fun track to drive and watch these guys race that, so we'll see how that works out. Badgelets goes 140.2 so far. So Fastest Sam still holds on with Frank Erfan there in P1 with his 139.7, so he's looking good for provisional pole so far on our first round of pit stops that we had happen here. So quite a few cars went back into the pits. I assume their hot lap didn't go so well, so they have to get back in. We got drivers getting back out already. That's Johnny Stokes getting back on an out lap there, and we'll see where the next half of the grid goes in terms of lap times as they get started back on their out laps again. We're down to about 12 minutes left here in qualifying, and it's going pretty well so far, I gotta say. So let's keep an eye and see how these lap times are going to work out, because the top half of the grid are going to get back out here pretty shortly as well to improve those times if they can, because it's a bit spaced off as we can see right now. Fastest 139 and slowest 143, so a few seconds off. So we'll see how that compares to when we get further down to the end of the session with just about a minute or 2 minutes remaining, and how close these lap times are actually going to be getting, because I think it's going to be a little bit more competitive as we get further down into the session there. Okay guys, so far so good. Just one driver out of qualifying. We're gonna have everyone else be able to make their lap times, provided no one else DNFs this session. I don't know how track temperature is right now. Just looking a bit cloudy. It does kind of affect the track temperature just a little bit when it's kind of like this. So, but let's see how it goes through. As we're gonna have the bottom 10 drivers, well, the bottom 9 drivers, that is, sorry, about to begin their hot laps here right now as we're following on with Johnny Stokes, and we'll probably follow him for a lap around Azerbaijan here, see what it looks like. We know our first sector of the track is actually quite an interesting, with quite a few 90-degree turns getting through, so it's always interesting to see how drivers handle these turns as they get through. So a short one getting down into turn 2 here, but that was quite an interesting one as well, and a little bit of a longer one getting down into turn 3, which does provide a good chance for some overtaking, and it's a DRS zone there as well, so always an interesting one to see how that works out. I'm pretty tight around this turn, so usually best to avoid overtakes through there as well. And we got purple sector 1 coming off of Johnny Stokes so far. So let's see if he's going to carry this through for a purple sector 2 here or not. That is one tight section of the track. That's actually got to be... Okay, so that's a purple sector 2 coming out of Johnny Stokes there as well, and he's heading through sector 3 here right now. Let's see how he finishes this lap, and if he's able to get this car on a provisional pole position, at least from now in the qualifying session, with just about 9 minutes remaining in qualifying here right now. He's heading down that pit straight, and quite a long pit straight, so I think he's about to go across the line here just anytime right about now, and let's see where he goes. Goes third fastest at 140.6, and that was a pretty good lap. So I guess his sector 3 was not the best. Let's get down to a few other drivers. Where's his teammate Scotty coming around here right now? He's about to go across the line, and let's see what lap time Scotty's gonna get as he gets across, and let's see where he goes. And he goes third fastest now, just above his teammate with a 140.3, about 3/10 faster than when his teammate Johnny Stokes did, so not too bad at all. We're going down at the bottom here. We got a few drivers finishing up their laps here right now. We got Crooksy is about to go across, and he goes fastest in the session, 138.2 so far. Takes away provisional pole there from Frank Efron, and let's see where is TNE Hawk right now, and he's coming around, might be going around. Let's see, Masbaron might be going across the line here right now. Let's see how fast he goes. Goes fifth fastest in the session, 140.4, just 1/10 slower than what Scotty did. And going back to TNE Hawk, I think he's about to get across the line. Oh, and I think someone went across. Who was that? That was Epic Lad there, 1:17 with a 2 minute 3 seconds, so not the best of lap from him there. But we got TNE Hawk about to go across the line here right now. One of our fast drivers in this league, and let's see where he's going to go as he gets across here. He's going to be bit competitive with the front, but of course I seem to notice that he just lost a chunk of his front wing, so he's going to get back into the pits. I'm going to have to get her back. I'm probably going to have one more go at this before the end of the session, and Willie Mamad there on an outlap right now, and he's getting a good go at this. Let's see. So We're going to wait for him to get started on his hot lap and see how fast he's going to go around this track in what sort of lap time he's going to get. So far, lap time's looking pretty good. Our fastest time holding on to provisional pole for our race start here is Crooksy there with his 138.2. Frank F1 on another outlap right now with 139.7 so far, holding him in second place. And then we got Vangelis there. He is currently in P3 to 140.2. He is getting back on an outlap there as well. Scotty just finished his lap and Umas Brand just finished as well. They're 4th and 5th. Johnny Oaks just finished, went back into the pits. He's 6th. Dodgy currently 7th there with a 141. That's where we started. 141s going down all the way to 14th with a Rob there. And then we get a little bit slower after that. But I think those times will improve as we get a little bit closer to the end of the session. As we know, qualifying tends to change up a bit on the last minute or two that we usually have, and did William just take a damage on that hard lap there, and I think he's gonna have to get back into the pits and try that again. Let's get back out front to Frank F1 here, and let's see if he's gonna be able to improve his time there or not. I see Mass Baron went up into P3 with his time. 139.9 now, so pretty interesting time for him. I think he did 2 laps on those other tires that he had on there, so not too bad at all for that. Okay, so following on with Frank F1 here, he's about to go across the line here in about 5 seconds time. So let's see if he's going to be able to improve his time from a 139.766. I think he's going back into the pits. So not improving that time as yet. He does have enough time to get her back on track and still try this one more time here. Let's see if he's going to be doing that or not. Vangelis, I think, trying to improve his time here right now. So let's have a look at him going across the line with a 140.2 so far. Does improve, goes 138.5, just about 3/10 slower than what Crooksy did for his provisional pole lap. And that's not too bad at all. We're getting pretty competitive out front here right now. So far, Crooksy holds on to provisional pole start for P1. Vangelis there in second. Frank F1 currently third. He's trying to improve that time, but he's just going back into the pits. He's going to have to get her back in just a bit and try to improve it if he can here. Let's see what's happening down at the bottom here. Darson running at the back here might be trying to improve his time from a 141.4 right now. Let's have a look as he gets around, and I think he's still in sector 3, is he? Nope, sorry, in sector 1. My bad, track is so tight it's hard to tell sometimes. Where is Big Irish right now? He is running in sector 2 there right now and going through. And his teammate is Mass Baron up there in P4, so let's see if he can actually match his teammates' time and maybe get into the 139s or up into a 140 at least before the end of this session as we continue through. 4 minutes left in qualifying here, guys, and then we get straight into our 50% race, which we're very much looking forward to for the race start, to see what that's going to be like and see how that is going to go. Getting on down to T N York, I think he's on another hot lap here and getting through sector 2 here right now, so let's have a look how that's going for him. Hopefully he didn't tear off a chunk of his front wing on this hot lap here. That bump on the left hand side is a little bit difficult to get over sometimes. Just kind of throwing a wall if you do take that turn a bit wrong. So drivers tend to have to be a bit careful getting through that section of the track as well. And that's a purple sector 2 so far from TN Hawk. So he seems to be doing pretty well so far there. Alright guys, was just checking out, see what was happening there. Alright, so let's see what's happening here so far. So TNE currently goes second fastest now with a 138.4. Fastest is down to P3, his time at 138.5. Darson in P4 right now, 138.8. And now we're starting to see how competitive this grid is starting to get with their lap times in here. So quite a few interesting lap times we're seeing right now. And we got Frank Effer on his 139.7, which was the fastest time on the first round of laps here, is now down to 7th, and he's on an outlap trying to improve that time at the moment here right now. Let's get on down to a few other races here, see what's happening right now. We got Barry Burbs here, he's trying to improve his time from a 141.3 right now. Also Rob here down in 16th, Josie validated that lap, so he's going to have to try that again. William Ahmed, they're still not able to make a lap time as yet. Well, a validated one, and we got just about a minute and 15 seconds left in this qualifying session, as a few drivers are still trying to improve their time here right now. Where is Raceway on track? So he's done with his lap probably there right now. Following Big Iris, see if he's trying to improve this time or not. Mass Baron there, probably trying to improve his time as he gets around through sector 1. Maybe just finish a lap apparently, I'm not sure, but let's see what's happening here with him right now. It looks like he might be trying to finish a lap. Vangelis is on an outlap. Crooksy on an outlap. We got Scotty outlaps as well as Love Hate Games there on another outlap. So let's see how times are going to change with the few drivers that we have trying to finish their final laps here right now. Okay, guys, we got some drivers retiring off of the qualifying session already. So I think this is about 2 seconds, and this is going to be it. That's going to be over for it there. So that's the end of qualifying there right now, guys. And we just got a few drivers remaining who are currently running, quite a few drivers actually, and who are trying to improve their time here at the moment. So let's have a look on how that's working out, because I know TNE Hawk is on another lap here as well, going. And I want to see if he's going to be able to improve his time or not. Vangelis on a hot lap here as well, and he's running just behind Crooksy. Both of them running on their final hot laps of this qualifying session right now. And let's see if that's going to be an and that is Vangelis out. Took the entire suspension off there. Crooksy is going to finish off this lap, and let's see if he's going to be able to improve his own time of a 138.2 and maybe hold on to that professional pole start that he has there. I think he's just trying to try for a better lap just in case. I think Johnny Silk just went up into P5 there at a 139.1, just behind his teammate there. I think that is. No, I'm not sure. Let's have a look at that. Nope, sorry, that's not his teammate. My bad on that one. Getting back to Crooksy out front, so he's about to go across the line here. And quite a few drivers finish and retiring from the session there as well. Let's see if he's finishing this lap. Nope, he's not going to finish this lap. He's holding on to his provisional pole lap there that he has, and looks like that's going to actually keep for him. So let's have a look and see if that's actually going to keep there or not. I think Night Sniper there might be on a lap now. He's just gone back into the pit, so that's probably it for him there as well. Okay, guys, I think that's it for our qualifying there, and we're gonna just wait for that overtime to just calm down, or for everyone to just retire off of the session so we can get through the results for starting grid, and then just get straight into our race session here. Okay, guys, I think that's it. So session is over for that one. Then let's have a look at our results for the starting grid, and then we're going to get on to the race. So for our starting grid, we got Crooksy starting on pole. TNE Hawk starts in second, just alongside him. We got Vangelis starting in third there. Darson's going to start fourth. Scotty starting fifth on the grid. Johnny Stokes will be sixth. Frank Effer on there 7. Raceway 8. Mass Baron will be starting 9th. Big Irish will start 10th. Rob will start 11th. Barry there will start 12, Al-Judifer will start 13, Doji in 14, we got Lister starting 15, Love 8 Games is going to start 16th, we got Night Sniper starting 17, Epic Lad there starts 18, Willie Mammoth starts 19, and James Owl, unfortunately, will have to start down there in 20th position on the grid. And so it looks like soft tires for all top 10 and most of the rest of the grid as well. So let's get on through to the race session here right now, guys, and let's see how that race start on lap 1 is going to go. Okay, so our drivers are now off on their formation lap there. Right now, Crooksy is going to lead them around as everyone gets a bit of a practice start off that grid. And they're going to have one last go, driving a bit slowly around the track just to have everything get off the temperature, that's the tires and whatnot. And then we're going to get started with this 26 lap race around Azerbaijan circuit here. So it's going to be quite interesting of a race, especially first few turns as we get on the opening lap. With it being a little bit tight through turn 1, and we're going to have a few cars start to maybe bunch up around there, and getting into turn 3 it's going to be a bit of a run getting down to that as well. So we'll see how that goes through, as it is a street circuit, so pretty tight around here, and a few 90-degree turns around in sector 1, I would say, throughout that sector there. So it's going to be very interesting to see how the lap goes through here. Sector 3 is really interesting as well, getting through that final few turns onto that pit straight. It's a bit interesting. If you're not taking the correct line, it does tend to I don't know, just bite you in the rear a bit in terms of that car taking some damage off the barriers there. So they're gonna have to be a bit careful as well, especially through that section that they just went through there. And yeah, we're gonna see how well these guys can drive on this track as chasing each other around. And I think it's gonna be interesting around with the start of the race for the at least the top 10 cars, to see how that's gonna go, because these guys have some very competitive lap times, and it's gonna be a bit interesting for the start to see how close they're gonna be off to each other and chasing each other around. And overtaking is very much possible around this track, but of course it is gonna be still a bit difficult in terms of avoiding to invalidate a lap and getting an overtake done as well with a track such as this. So we'll see how well these guys are able to handle that. And I think they're getting around sector 3 here right now, and we're just waiting for them to get back onto the start of the starting grid just to line up again, and then we're gonna get started with this race here. So round 8 of 22, guys, for Azerbaijan Grand Prix, and this is Rapid Pixel Racing GP2 division, what used to be NHR. So let's see how they get on through. It's just the same old league, same drivers, just a new name with them, as the merger has started with that. So we'll see how that goes on here right now. So 26 laps to look forward to here, guys, as everyone is starting to line back up on the grid there right now, and we're just waiting for final driver to come around and get back onto the starting grid so we can get going here with this race. Now once again, guys, please remember, do leave a like on the stream. Remember, if you're new around the channel, make sure you subscribe. We got a lot of different streams happening during the course of the week. Might be reducing that schedule just a bit for now as well, but still we're going to have enough race streams happening during the course of the week for you guys to have a look at. We'll see how that goes. So I think we're about to get started here. Let's have a look. Alright, so let's keep we're going to keep that on position change, and gonna keep lap data on for now, and we're gonna see who gets a better run down into turn 1 between Crooksy and TNE Hawk there, as the lights are about to go off here right now. That's 5 lights on, and William Mammoth has already jumped the start, and he does have a drive-through penalty for that, and we're off here right now. Let's see how it's going between Crooksy and TNE Hawk, and looks like Crooksy gets away pretty well. A bit of a contact between Vangelis and TNE Hawk there as they go on through. Might be some damage on those cars, but let's see how the rest of the grid gets through. And we got a bit of a glitch happening on the leaderboard there, so let's avoid that for now. And we can hear some cars having some difficulty down the back, and we have a safety car already. For quite a few collisions happened on that race start there. A lot of damaged cars, I'm assuming, there right now. But everyone's trying to slot in back into their positions as we follow on through behind safety car that's happening here right now. So quite a bit of incidents down at the back and in the midfield of the grid, as we heard a lot of cars getting some contact between each other there and on even through turn 1. So we did expect that to actually happen and go on through that way. So let's see how that's gonna continue here right now. We're following on in front with Crooksy here as he's still leading this race here right now. Just a bit of a mix-up on the leaderboard. We're waiting for that to get sorted back, and hopefully that gets sorted pretty soon, because we're still on lap 1 and going, oh, there we go, it's sorted through now. So yeah, we got Crooksy still leading this race. We got TNE Hawk right there in second where he started. Darson and Vangelis switched positions. Unfortunately for Vangelis there, he had a bit of contact with TNE Hawk on that race start getting through turn 1. I know that happened, and I mean that's Scotty's he's right there in 4th, where Johnny Stokes right there in 6th. Raceway has got a position up on Frank Efron there. Barry's got up about 3 positions. Masbron he's lost 1, and Lister's lost 4 positions. Big Irish there, he's lost 2. Love 8 Games has gained 3 so far. Dorji there started right there in P14, and we're about to get around into sector 3 and into that pit lane entrance, so we're definitely going to be seeing a few cars get into the pits on this occasion here. Let's have a look at what penalties these guys just got. A 10-second penalty for Lister, 5-second for a few cars, another 10-second for Epic Lads there, and a drive-through penalty for Woolly Mama there. He jumped the start on the race start there on the grid, so he does have that drive-through penalty to deal with there at the moment. That's going to hurt him just a bit, but he's going to have to do it either way. And let's see how many drivers are going to choose the pit here on this occasion here, because we got quite a few drivers started down in the back there on the hard tires as well. So let's see how that's going to work out. And Epic Lad seems to be out of this race here right now. I think something happened to him down there in sector 3, so he's already out of the race. That's 19 drivers only remaining here right now, and we should be running on lap 2, not 3 here right now. So a bit of a mix-up once again on the leaderboard there. And we do have a few drivers in the pits. We got Masbaron, we got Barry, Love 8 Games, Doiji, Willie Mammoth, and Rob all into the pits there right now, because we are quite sure that a lot of cars took damage on that race start that we had there. So we're going to still have to follow on the safety car just a bit, maybe a lap or 2 more to get everything sorted through, and then we're going to get back to racing here. And just waiting for that leaderboard to sort itself back through again. I'm not sure why that mix-up keeps happening. It's been seriously months, going to head over to a year pretty soon, and that issue has not been fixed. It's a one issue they haven't fixed in this game, and with all of the updates that were released, they're still not able to fix that issue for some reason. And I'm quite sure they know about it, because everyone's been talking about it since the game came out, but still not being fixed. Okay, so let's get that off and see what our tires are at. So we got a few drivers who went on to the medium tires, who did their pit stops there. They were on the hard tires there, so let's see how the strategy is going to work out for them. But a bit of a bad start for Epic Lad there. He's already out of this race, and we'll see how the rest of the grid is going to get through though, because majority of our drivers at the top of the grid are running on the soft tires. So we'll see how the strategy works out for them in terms of getting through the rest of the race. So we're still on lap 2 right now and going. We're going to head into lap 3 here right now, still under the safety car going through, and then I think maybe hopefully on the end of lap 3 that safety car is going to come in, so we can get back to racing and see what's going to happen through the rest of the race. Remember, it's a 26 lap race, guys, and we don't want to be falling too much under the safety car. These guys want to get onto their racing, and I'm quite sure they're not having too much fun driving under the safety car this way right now, because Crooksy is looking to get away and probably start to get a gap between himself and TNE Hawk down behind, but not going to be able to do that if they're not allowed to race at this point here. So he's just waiting. Everyone's just waiting right now for that safety car to go in, and we're still going to have to follow him on this lap here right now. We're currently on lap 3 going around in sector 1, so a bit of a way more to go through this lap before we can see if that safety car is going to come in here. Hopefully not until lap 4, but it should just be coming in on this current lap. It just started on lap 1 there. So far so good for the start of the race, guys. It was a lot of contact happening between cars getting through the first sector of the track, especially through turn 1. That's where we had most most of our major incidents happen. And Epic Lad went out of this session getting around sector 3 right in lap 1. I'm not sure what happened to him at the back. They probably that car ended up in the wall somehow, I'm not sure, but he is out of the session, unfortunately. So 19 drivers still remain, though we're gonna have still an exciting race get on through here, as these guys should be getting back to racing here pretty soon, as we should be getting to sector 3 pretty soon. So we'll have a look and see if we're gonna get that notification from race control about getting back to racing, if that safety car is about to go in or not. So we still got a few drivers with penalties there, the ones who did not pit, those who have that 5-second penalty, and I think maybe one more with a 10-second penalty as well. We'll see how that plays through, but they'll get to serve that the 5-second penalties off when they do their pit stops there. But of course, William Albert there has to serve a drive-through penalty after the safety car, and that's definitely going to hurt his race. Yes, but he's going to fall all the way down at the back of the grid. He's already in 18th right now as it is, and he's going to fall further down there in 19 when that does happen. Now I think we're about to get into sector 3 here, right guys, so we're going to have a look to see if we're going to be able to get on through back to racing at the end of the lap. And then we do have that the information from race control. We're about to get back racing, so at the end of this lap the cars can go back to racing into lap 4, as our safety car is already starting to go off into the distance. Prix is going to hold the grid back just a bit, as we're going to start to see a lot of weaving happening along the track as they get on through this sector of the track here. And I just start to get those tires a bit warmed up, back up the temperature before they can get back to racing here, because they do not want to get getting back on that power as fast as they can on cold tires. That's going to kind of cause a bit of problems in the race here. So a lot of weaving around on track. They're going to have to be careful doing that as well, because that can tend to go wrong sometimes, with them just misaveraging how much they're actually weaving and actually put their cars into the barrier there. And we're going to have Prix already starting to get a go here, but of course no overtaking until they get across that line there. And we got most drivers starting to go across it there right now. Let's see how turn 1 is going to go here right now. We're trying to keep an eye and see if everyone is getting through pretty well or not. And so far so good. I think a few cars going side by side, as we can see Love Hate Games and I think Azerbaijan there getting a bit of contact as they get through. But everyone seems to be going through pretty well. TNY pretty close off out in front with Prix there as well. So we'll see how that continues to play out for them. Let's get on back here with Love Hate Games. He's pretty close off with Night Sniper and Maz Baron here for that position, and so is Frank Efron there. So a bit of a train of cars down in the midfield here as these guys get on through. Let's see what's happening out front with our race leader. So we got Crooksy still leading this race here right now, and TN Hawk chasing him down for that lead. Gap is about half a second and counting there, so let's see if that's going to break down or not. We got Toddy here just a bit behind right now, and he has a bit of a train coming behind him. Darson 1.9 seconds behind, not too bad out. But then we got Vatulis here. He's pretty close up behind Darson right now and trying to catch up to that Ferrari to get by, and a bit of a train continue all the way down to the rest of the grid, as we have Dorji getting very close to Barry there, who's chasing off Night Sniper as well. So we'll see how that's going to play out down at the back here, because oh, we got two cars going side by side there. I think that's probably Barry and Night Sniper, as let's see who gets on through for that position. And Night Sniper looking to get that overtake done, and just looking at both sides. Oh, and does have a bit of contact with the wall there, as well as Raceway I think is trying to get up a position. Oh, and the Ferrari goes wide. That's Raceway going a bit wide there, having a bit of contact with Rob, who gets up into 14 and now looking to get by Doiji there. Oh, and Doiji into the barriers there as well. Has some severe damage. He might be out. He is out of the race, and that's another safety car for that incident there. And very difficult to get through that section of the track, so everyone's going to have to hold their positions here for now. Let's see if we're going to have any more pit stops happen on this account here right now. So that is currently lap 5 that's happened there on, I think, lap 4 for most of the drivers, but we're getting into lap 5 on that one there. So we continue on through with Crooksy leading out front. His gap has extended to about 3.6 seconds, but that's going to be coming back down to less than half a second with the safety car that we're running here right now. So second safety car in this race so far. And we got quite a few drivers out, unfortunately. Here we got Night Sniper out, we got Doige is out, James is out, and Epic, who was out early off in the race. So 3 drivers are out there right now, and Scott is going to be catching up to the rest of the grid. That's going to leave us with 16 drivers here for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix right now, and it's only lap 5 of 26 right now, and all of this chaos is already happening on track right at the moment. So drivers pushing a bit hard, trying to get their overtakes done as much as they can. Incidents will happen in a way if anything did go wrong. I'm assuming these drivers will be reporting that to the race stewards at the end of the race when that time comes there, and the report room is open for that. But right now we have the rest of the grid getting on through. Everyone is currently going to be following under the safety car once again as we get on through here, and just trying to maintain positions as much as they can. We're going to see if anyone else does decide to do a pit stop or not. Okay, so we're gonna have to follow on the safety car for just a bit. We got a few more pit stops happening there as well. Crooksy there not pitting as yet. Drivers behind him have pitted. We got TNE Hawk pitted, and he's in the pits. I think he's getting back out in P8 right now. So quite a bit of a round of pit stops happening as so everyone's still following on. We're just following in the Discord there right now, guys, to see what decision is being made about the race session here right now. Because I think the guys are trying to decide right now on what to do about the race session because of the amount of incidents that have happened in the race so far. So let's see if anything's going to be changing with that as they get on through here. Okay, so currently running on lap 6. Remember, we did have that safety car happen on lap, I think 4 there. We might be getting back. I didn't really pay attention to the screen for getting back racing on this lap, but I'll know that based on what the safety car is doing. Doesn't look like it's going to be on this lap. Might be on the next lap going through because we're still following just behind that safety car as we get through here right now. I think Crooksy might be trying to race the safety car. Oh, he's getting into the pits here right now. So he's pitting on the last lap, and the safety car might be out. Let's see where he's going to come back on track as everyone continues on through here right now. Lister now takes over the lead of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Rob there running in second now. Jennifer running in third. David Games now goes in fourth. Scotty in fifth, and Vatil is there in sixth. So let's see how that gets on through. I was trying to have a look here at our standings so far. So let's see what our constructor standings are so far for the season here, guys. Remember, it is round 8 right now. So up to round 7, we do have that result being posted there already. So currently we have Haas leading that championship for the constructors there. They're in P1 with 152 points. Not too bad at all so far, with Alfa Romeo in second right now, 144 points. That's an 8-point difference. So that might be coming to a play just a little bit today to see how that's going to work out between those two teams. Because it's only an 8-point difference. They might have a bit of change happening now, depending on how the drivers finish though. We got Ferrari there in third on the championship right now with 138 points. They're about 6 points behind Alfa Romeo there, and 14 points behind the Haas team there. So Williams there in P4 right now. and they have 115 points. Mercedes in 5th with 98 points. We got McLaren there in 6th with 37. We got Red Bull in 7th right now with 11 points. Renault in 8th with 10 points. We got AlphaTauri there in 9th with 8 points, as well as Racing Point with 8 points as well. So that is where our constructor standings are at here right now. So let's have a look and see if we're about to get back racing on this lap here. We're getting straight into sector 3 here very soon. So we should, I think our safety car is already starting to go off into the distance there already, so we should be getting back racing at the end of this lap. Okay, so let's have a look out front what's happening there here right now. So are we going another lap under the safety car? It does seem like we are, because I assume we're supposed to have that come in by now, but I'm assuming the incidents have not been fully cleared as yet, or probably this is our I guess it's because was it closer to the end of lap 4 getting to lap 5 that incident happened. So I assume that's we're all the way up to lap 8 still under the safety car and going, so I assume we're going to be going in on this lap here right now. So we're going to have to continue and follow under the safety car for one more lap here, guys, as currently we have Lister here who is running in the lead of the race here right now. So let's have a look at what's changed so far. Penalties as they are. Lister has a 10-second penalty still because he's not pitted in the race so far, I think. Let's have a look. So Aljurifer and Lister are the only two drivers who have not pitted in this race so far, and Aljurifer has a 5-second penalty as well to serve when he does go into the pits, so that's going to be a bit of an issue there. Darson and Frank here from both have 5 seconds, William with a 5-second, Crooksy there with a 5-second penalty as well, and Barry Wells with a drive-through penalty, so that's going to hurt his race quite a bit there as well. Let's see how that's going to work out, as we're looking at position changes there, but we'll have a look at that later on in the race as we get on through. Okay, so it looks like our safety car is going to actually come in on this lap here, so we're going to get back to racing, and let's see how this is going to go here with the next safety car restart, and hopefully we don't have major incidents happen on this occasion here again. Hopefully everyone is able to keep it clean as we get on through with another restart under the safety car here. So let's see how that goes through, as Grid is getting held up just a bit at the back there. And they're going to start to go off here in just a bit, and let's see how they get on through. I think they're starting to go on here already. Let's see if Rob is getting a go on Lister. No, Lister seems to be getting out pretty well out front, so I'll keep an eye on the middle of the grid a bit to see how that's going to work on through for them. Let's keep with Vangelis, T and Hawk and Scotty down in the midfield here and have a look on how that's going for them. Trying to have a look down the back. I saw Racing Point just went wide. That's William Mammoth, I think. Might have had a bit of an issue down at the back there. Trying to follow on right now. Let's have a look back out front here as well, though, with what's happening with Vangelis right now. So he's chasing after Scotty, trying to get it wrong. Oh, and a bit of minor contact between the two of them so far. So Scotty chasing Love Hate Games here as well for P4. Let's see what that battle progresses on through. There's a bit of a train going on through here right now, especially with TNE Hawk, Darson, and the rest of the grid down in the back there coming on through. We're going to follow on the overhead cam as they continue to go back with racing here right now. Oh, and a bit of contact, I think, with the wall there with Vagilis, but no damage, and he's going to still get on through with the rest of the race as they continue here right now. We got TNE Hawk. He's definitely looking to get by him at the moment here, but let's see how that's going to work out. Very difficult to overtake on this part of the track, well, most of the parts of this track actually, so they're going to have to be a bit careful about where they choose to do these overtakes here right now. Lister leading the race out front, starting to build his gap to close to a second behind, with Rob there in second place, Al Judfa there in third, running 1.3 seconds behind, Love It Games running just about half a second, and then the rest of the grid kind of piles up and just following on in a train as we continue on through all the way down into about 13th position there. Everyone's still running very, very close behind each other and going around. We got a few penalties for these drivers to deal with here as well, and we're trying to follow to see what's going to happen here. Scotty getting up very close behind Love Hate Games. They're going to try and get that position up if he can. I think he's trying to get a good run down or straight at the moment and see if he's able to get the position or not. As we go onto the pit straight, he might get a good run down, get the turn, using that slipstream as much as he can, and he's going to pull off to the side on the outside and take it around, and let's see if he gets the position up or not. Looks like he hasn't gotten that position up as yet, but he's definitely pushing for it, coming up to a DRS zone pretty soon, so let's see if that's going to help at any point for him to get by. Also, he has Vatalis on his tail, so he's going to have to be pretty careful about this and how he does get it done. And getting into the DRS zone here right now. I don't know if he's back online as yet. We'll have to have a look. Oh, and he's getting squeezed on the inside. Not going to be able to make that position. And he's going to have to hold back, and does make Vatalis actually catch up more just a little bit as he continues on through with that gap that he has there right now. So I don't know why it seems so constant on the leaderboard there, but we're having a look on how close that's actually getting here right now. But a pretty good attempt at an overtake there. Did get blocked out from the inside, so unfortunately not able to get that overtake done on that occasion there. Let's follow on through and see how that is progressing on through, because we got Vagilis in some trouble here right now. He does have TNE Hawk and Darson and Johnny Stokes and quite a few more drivers coming down behind. We got Mass Baron retired from the session there, and he is out. Unfortunately, that happened in Sector 2, so I think he might have had an incident with someone and gone off in the race. That might just be a yellow flag. I'm not sure as yet. But let's see how that continues on through here right now. Unfortunately, we were not able to see that happen. And Crooksy getting up a position here right now on the inside of Johnny Stokes. Gets around, and he looks like he's going to keep that position as Johnny Stokes and Frank F1 both are chasing him on through for that position as they go down the pit straight. And I think Johnny Stokes does have that slipstream to work with. DRS is back online here right now, and that's going to help us to get through the next lap with the DRS zones as they're coming up. We got, I think, a pit stop's happening with Barry Borbs along in the back there as well. We'll see how that continues on for him in terms of what position he's going to get back out. And let's see what our close gaps are at here right now. We're going to go on up here right now. Let's go down back to Crooksy here and see how that's working out for him. So he's running behind Darson at the moment, trying to keep that position as much as he can, because overtaking is just a bit too risky here right now. We're currently following on with TNE Hawk chasing down Scott here. Crooksy gets up a position as well on Darson here, so he's up into 8th position there right now. And we can see how close these guys are getting to each other, so they're going to have to be very, very careful about this to avoid any major incident at this point. And we're following with Crooksy right now. He's chasing after TNE Hawk for 7th position. Let's see if that's working out, because still a bit of a train of cars in front and behind. Oh, and Scotty hits the barrier there aside and loses 2 positions as Crooksy and TNE Hawk goes up, and they're going side by side into this turn here right now. Who's getting up that position? I'm not sure as yet. Scotty's going to have some problems. He's going to probably have to do a pit stop with that damage that he just took there as these guys continue on through here right now. Scotty's down to 12th at the moment because of that damage and contact with that wall. And TNE Hawk is trying to get past Crooksy here right now, getting on board with him and see how close that gap is going to get as they get down the pit straight. And let's see, is anybody going into the pits or are they just pulling off to the side? And Crooksy was not going in. And let's see, we got TNE Hawk on the inside of him going through turn 1. Gets that position of a bit of minor contact between the two of them, but everyone gets on through pretty well. And down in the back, I think there's some contact as well. We're still following on with these two to see what's happening. This gap is actually still pretty close. And he's using a bit of the DRS here right now. It's getting on through up into P4. He goes there right now. And let's get that stat on screen actually to see how that's working. They're still going side by side, fighting it through for that 4th position. TNE Hawk and Crooksy there. And let's see who's going to get out of this one in front. They do leave each other enough room, which is good to see. So Crooksy holds on to that P4 right now. Lister still holds on to the lead of the race. Of course, Rob there getting very close to him right now. And way less than half a second. And I think he lost a bit of time as well. He's trying to get up into the lead right now with Al-Judfa running a bit comfortably in the middle of this all battle at the moment. He's in P3. 2.8 seconds to the car front and 3.4 seconds to the car behind. Oh, and that is TNE Hawk out of the race, hitting straight into the barriers there. I'm not sure if he missed his braking zone or not, but he's definitely out. That's going to be a VSC to clear off that car off the track. And then before we can get back to racing, that's going to leave us with 14 drivers in the session here right now. Unfortunately, kind of felt that crash for him there, man. That was a bit bad into the barriers, but unfortunately can't do anything about it. That car will be cleared up before we get around back to that portion of the track again. And very well to the drive-through penalty for speeding under the VSC. And I think we're back racing here right now, guys. So let's continue on with the rest of the race right now. We got Rob chasing down Lister for the lead of the race out front. Let's see how that's going off with the two of them as they're in Sector 1 going through right now. And Rob is going to be able to have his DRS advantage on Lister. But let's see if Lister is able to keep the lead out front. Of course, he does have that penalty. And it's just Lister and Al-Judfa, the only two drivers in the race who have not pitted so far. Let's get on back down to the midfield of the grid here right now with Frank, Efron, and Johnny Stokes. And see, this is a gap under a second between the two of them. And Frank does have his DRS and is using as much of it as he can here. Getting right up to the rear of Johnny's car. Let's see if he's able to keep up and maybe get that overtake done. Barry Barbs, they're getting or trying to get overtake done on Love Hate Games. But unfortunately, he has to hold back there in P10 for now. I think Scotty might have done his pit stop. He's back out into 12th position and going to continue on in this race here right now. Let's see how that's going to work. Vangelis here getting under a second behind Love Hate Games here right now, along with Barry behind him. So let's see how that chase is going to go on through between these two here at the moment. So a bit of a chaotic race here for Azerbaijan here this evening for RPR GP2. 14 drivers left in this race from we started there with 20. So a lot of incidents, 2 safety cars and a VSC so far. And Vangelis is out of the race. I think he just hit into the barriers here down the side. I'm not sure if there was any contact or if he just lost the rear getting up there or not. But he is out. That's going to mean Wooly Mammoth up in the 13th position. So 13 drivers now left in this race. And that's going to be a full safety car for that incident there as well. Lister is now into the pits. That puts Rob here into the lead of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix right now. So a bit of a change of a mix-up happening on this race. And we got a few more pit stops happening with the rest of the grid there as well as everyone's getting on through. And I see Maz Baron is pretty disappointed about his DNF on this race. But nothing you can do here about it. It does happen. But you had a good record going though from what I see you posted there in Discord. That was a pretty good record going for the amount of races he's finished without a DNF so far. So not too bad. But unfortunately, this was the race for it to happen here. So we do have, this is our 3rd safety car going on through in this race so far. And Let's see what's happening. So 13 drivers left in the session. So far we got Rob leading there in P1. Aljud for now running in second. Crooksy now back up into P3 at the moment. Johnny Stokes running P4. We got Lister running in P5. Does have a penalty. Big Irish in 6. Raceway 7. Love 8 Games there in 8. Scotty running in 9th now. Darson in 10. Frank down in 11. Barry in 12. And William Ahmed there 13th in this race so far. And he's in the pits there at the moment there. So as it is, guys, a sad day for some of these drivers here right now because they're not able to finish this race, unfortunately, with the amount of incidents we have had happen so far. Hopefully we can clear that up and hopefully avoid that on the next race coming up for round 9. But for this race, this is how it's going so far, and that's what the drivers will have to deal with. That's going to mean a lot of points they're going to be losing out on here right now, but some of the other drivers will be gaining a little bit more points than they expected in this race, with some of these fast guys being out so far here. So Rob here continues to lead on through. He's done 11 laps on those tires so far. Everyone else on fresh tires at the moment, so they'll be able to go to the end of the race. Of course, for Rob here, I'm not sure if he'll be able to push on through. That's another 12.5 laps to go in this race. And I'm assuming he's not going to be able to push the end of the race on those tires. So Rob here might have to do another pit stop. That's going to be a bit unfortunate for him because he's going to lose out on the lead of the race. But we'll see how that works out. He can push a bit more on those mediums. And let's see how far he's able to push on them, though, because it's going to be a bit difficult for him with cars behind him being on such fresh tires here right now. That is going to prove to be a little bit difficult for him to keep the lead of the race until he's ready to do that pit stop. But he's going to have to push on through and try to do it as much as he can. And hopefully that does work out for him. So far, Aljud there in second behind him. He's on fresh mediums, though, and we're going to get back to racing. That's going to be a bit of an advantage for him. So we'll see how he gets on through with that there. So yeah, guys, still going under the safety car here, guys, and unfortunate that Vangelis, Tierney Hawk, Masbar, Night Sniper, Dorothy, James Owl, and Epic Lad is out of the race. Quite a few incidents happened from the start to this point. If you missed anything so far, you'll probably have to wait till the end of the stream just to watch it back to see what exactly happened. Especially on the start of the race was a bit interesting with that, and we did have a safety car happen on that first opening lap there as well. But quite a few incidents did happen through as we got that, and it was a bit evident with the songs that we did hear through down in the back of the grid as well. So we're going to have to wait. I'm not sure what lap did the safety car start on here, so I'm not sure what lap it's going to be going in. I didn't really pay attention to that part, but we'll just keep an eye out to see when it starts to goes off into the distance. We'll know that the safety car is about to come in and we should be able to get back racing. Hopefully we're able to finish the rest of this race without any more VSTs or safety car getting on through here right now. And I see our gaps are already starting to close up. I think everyone's caught up to the car in front of them, except for William Ahmed there. He is trying to catch up back to the rest of the grid there right now. But I think he might have some time because we're still running under the safety car here right now on lap 15 going. I think we'll probably have to go one more lap under the safety car before we do get back to racing. So I assume we'll probably have some time to go through the driver standings up to round 7 as it was. So let's have a look at that, see where that is here, right? I think we do have it under season standings, so we'll be able to have a look at the results as they are so far. Yep, so we're going on one more lap on the safety car, and William will be able to catch up and get on through. So let's have a look at what our GP1 driver standings are at for RPR here right now. So currently Crooksy holds on to for P1 for that one there, so 146 points. He's leading the drivers championship right now with Tierney Hawk in second, 100 points, so he's 46 points clear of Tierney Hawk at the moment, and he's doing pretty well with that, and he's still in this race, so we're looking good for getting some more points to get onto the lead. So unfortunate for Tierney Hawk and the rest of the drivers here who are out and not going to be making points on this one. So Tierney Hawk in second for the championship. Darson there in third with 97 points. He's only 3 points behind Tierney Hawk, and Darson is actually still in this race. So we'll be able to get some points here and might be able to take over. He might be able to take over second place in the championship if that does happen here. So we'll see how that works out. Vangelis there in fourth. Johnny Stokes there in fifth. And then we got Scotty there in sixth. Raceway in seventh. Mass Baron there in eighth. He's with 27 points. And then Lister there on 9th, 18 points. Al-Judfa in 10th, currently 15 points. He'll be able to get some points here as well. Big Irish there in 11th with 10 points. Nice and Spicer there 12. And we got Rob with 12 in 12th as well. He has 8 points as well so far. He'll be able to get some points depending on where he finishes in this race. Doji in 14th for the championship. James there in 15. Lovely Games there in 15 with 6 points for the two of them. George there, who was in 17 with 4 points. Barry Borbs there 18, 2 points. Night Sniper and William Mac, no points there as yet in this championship for this current season that we're running here right now. So let's see how that's going to work out through as we get on through with the rest of the session though. So let's get on back to over 2 hours 3 and see what's happening here right now. So running currently on lap 16 on the safety car, and we should be having that going. Yep, there we go, guys. So we have the safety car is going to go in on this lap here right now, and then we're going to get back to racing on lap 17 as we get on through. So that's going to be at least about 9 to 10 laps of racing left to go here for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, and should be quite an interesting session here as well, finishing off this race. We'll see how the end of the race goes. As we can see, Al-Judfa keeping as close as he can here right now to Rob there out front, and he's going to try and get a good go on him as they're about to get started back with the race here right now. I think they're about to get started getting through turn 1. Let's see how that is going to go there right now. Seems to be going pretty well so far. I don't think any major incidents down in the back. We got Al-Judfa very close off behind Rob though, and he's chasing him down pretty good for that position. Of course, the rest of the grid coming on very strong behind. Scotty getting very close up to Love Hate Games down in the back though. Let's have a look on how that's continue on for him. He's going side by side with the Haas driver right now into the next turn. Let's see if he's going to get an overtake done on that one there or not. So he actually has to hold back there in P9 at the moment. Not going to force that through. Doesn't want to risk taking any damage to that car. Has a Ferrari of Darson coming right up behind him. So he's going to have to be a bit careful with that. Also, we got Frank and Woody coming very close behind as well. So let's see how that's going to work on through for him. But so far, so good with that restart. We're doing pretty well. Crooks here at front. He's chasing after Al-Judfa there and trying to get that position up if he can. So a bit of a train going on down in the back here as well as these guys continue on through. And gaps are saying yes a bit constant as here. Let's get on through out front to Crooksy here, chasing down Al-Judfa for P2, and he's getting pretty close off for this, but he's going to have to keep it in his position for now and not risk losing it. Of course, he does have Johnny Stokes just behind him coming on through, fighting for the P2 in this position, or fighting for any podium position if he can here right now. Out front, Rob is going to have a very, very difficult time holding off all of these guys coming off behind. Half a second is the gap to the car behind him. That's Al-Judfa there, and Crooksy looking to get by Al-Judfa here right now. Let's see how that's going to go, and he's going to have a good slipstream down the pit straight as they go, and into turn 1 he might pull off into the side and take it on the inside. Let's see if he gets a good go enough to do that, and he will have that DRS advantage, which is going to be coming on pretty soon. Rob there having some trouble and getting a bit in the way of Crooksy trying to get up in front, but does get up into second place. Al-Judfa goes down into third here right now and is about to lose another position there from Johnny Stokes, who goes up into third right now. Al-Judfa is down to fourth in the race at the moment and is going to be losing another position to Lister here if he's not careful, because they are going side by side at the moment. And Crooksy takes over the lead of the race out front, and that's Al-Judfa down to fifth right now. And Rob has lost the lead of the race because of those worn-off tires, and he might be losing more positions here. Let's see how that's going to go for him. That's currently Crooksy takes over the lead. He's going to continue on through. Already he's getting about a second of a gap that's going there. And we got Johnny Stokes chasing down after Rob here right now. He's trying to get him a position on the Renault driver and might be getting that done as soon as he gets a pretty good chance to get an overtake with. But I think he just has to keep it there in P3 at least for now. We still have Lister with that penalty there, and he's on fresh tire, so I don't think he's going to do another pit stop, but that penalty is going to affect his race. The only driver in the race right now with a penalty still going through. We'll see how bad it affects it though when we have a look at the penalty in just a bit. We're on lap 18 right now and running through, and it's going pretty well. Raceway they're getting pretty close off with Scotty there to Big Irish as well, so we'll see how that continues on through for them. Let's have a look down to see what's happening with that. I think that gap is pretty close between Raceway and Big Irish. So let's see what the McLaren can do to defend here right now. I think he's holding on pretty well, but the gap is breaking down pretty fast here, and that run down to turn one is a good chance to get a good slipstream going, and he's going to have it, takes it on the outside, and he's going to go around, and does have Scotty coming behind. Let's see what that's going to work out. Has the better straight line speed, and he's going to get on through up into 6. He goes there right now. But the McLaren is still fighting back here right now. We got, I think, Scotty coming in the midst of all of this, and he's trying to get on through as well. So as it is right now, out front, we still got Crooksy leading the race. We got Johnny Stokes up into second place, Rob down into third, 16 laps down on those tires, and it looks like he's going to push it all the way to the end of the race and try to finish on the podium if he can here right now, because even if Lister gets by, Lister's going to lose that place because of that penalty once he can keep close enough, and that race is coming to an end pretty shortly. So I think he has just a few laps, so he might be able to actually do this. Let's see if he's going to be able to pull it off or not. Well, so far so good on holding off a final podium position there. He might be able to finish on it. Scotty and Big Irish fighting off for a P7 here right now, as they were going side by side through that turn, but Scotty held back just a little bit to avoid any damage between the two cars there, as we got Raceway and Alternative fighting for 5th out front of these guys there as well. Quite a few battles going on the track, which we're not following all here at the moment, and this is going to continue this way all the way through to the end of lap 26 as they go on through. Scotty trying to get up a position on that McLaren at the moment, so he's going to have to probably wait until they get around to that very long pit straight down there in sector 3 to actually get a slipstream to get that overtake done and maybe get some DRS advantage here as well. And he got a pretty good go on that McLaren. He's going to pull off to the side already, as he looks like he's getting a better straight line speed to get on through. And Crooksy gets the fastest lap in the session so far, and there goes Scotty. He's going to go by up into 7th place here right now, puts Big Irish down into 8th. And Raceway seems to have got a position up on Al-Judfa out in front there as well, if you can have a look at that. So he's up another position as well. That's another switch that's happened there. Let's follow on with Al-Judfa, see if he's able to get the position back. So far not working out for him. And Rob there trying to keep a gap with Lister down behind, but Lister is actually pretty close behind. Let's have a look if that's going to be an overtake happening or not, as that DRS might have helped him just a bit of minor contact as well between the two of them. I see Dawson's now gotten the fastest lap, so let's see who's going to keep the fastest lap going off to the end of the session here. Crooksy leading out front, 3.1 second is that gap. Johnny Stokes has another gap of 3.5 second to Rob there in P3, so the two of them looking pretty good for P1, P2 out front. We'll see how that works out. But coming down at the back here, we got a bit of contact going on between a few cars. They're trying to fight it off for position there. That's Lister and Raceway trying to fight it off, and let's see what that's going on for them. Because Lister is trying to get by Rob there for P3 right now, trying to get onto the podium if he can, and he does have to get a gap going if he wants to keep that position, and that gap is going to be a 5-second gap is what he's going to need to get going. So let's see if that's going to work out for him or not, as we continue on through with Scotty here in P6 right now, chasing down Raceway for P5. Let's see if he's getting close enough to actually get that overtake done. It looks like Lister might be able to get his overtake done on the pit straight. We'll have a look out front to see what's happening. If you can have a look from here, I'm not sure. Al-Judfa down to 7th position here right now. And Scotty gets a better exit, so he might have a good run on Raceway getting down the pit straight here right now. He's trying to use a slipstream, but Raceway trying to keep him out of it here right now. Lister and Rob is going to probably go side by side into that next turn. Let's see if that's going to Raceway getting into the middle of them there as well, as you can have a look from Scotty's car. What's happening out front? Scotty gets by up into 5th place, Rob down to 6th, and Raceway gets all the way up into 3rd. On the podium, Lister takes the same 4th position that he had he was chasing Rob with, so he's held on to that 4th position still, but Rob unfortunately down to 6th right there. Scotty in a position here as well, up into 5th, so not too bad of an overtake done on that lap there. We're currently following on with Frank here. He is in P7 right now, chasing after Rob now, and he's going to try to get that position up. Not sure how much position Rob is going to fall down if he does lose this position as well, as Frank is using a bit of overtake, trying to get as close as he can to Rob's car here right now. Let's get back out front here with Lister and Scotty as well. These two are chasing each other around like crazy right now. Lister trying to catch up to Raceway at the moment, and Frank has gotten by Rob there for P6, so that's Rob down to 7th position right now. Has Al-Judfa about a second behind. Let's see if he's able to keep that position to the end of the race or not. We're currently following on with Scotty here and Lister, who they're fighting off for P3 right now. Of course, Lister is still trying to fight off for P4 for P3 himself just to get onto the podium, but he does have to make a gap of 5 seconds in order to keep it, which is going to be a bit difficult at this point in the race with everyone being so close up, and he does have a 5-second penalty, not even a 3 seconds, so with him would have been a bit easier to work with if it was just a 3-second penalty going on through. And Johnny Stokes are not having any luck catching up to Crooksy, but having some luck with the car behind. That's Raceway there. He has about an 8.1 second gap as we got Scotty trying to go side by side with Lister and goes by up into P4, takes it on the inside, and looks like he gets up in the turn one pretty well. Yep, he does get that position up, and that's going to put Lister down into P5. Frank is going to be chasing after him right now. And let's see if he's able to keep up with Scotty here or not. So maybe try and get the position back, but he does have to worry about Frank coming just behind him, because that Red Bull is going to have some DRS advantage there as well, and it's going to continue chasing him on through. And that's Frank going up into P5, still goes side by side with him and gets the position up through that turn there. Pretty good overtake. I don't think there was any contact between the two of them, which is what we like to see. So that's a position up for Frank. That's Lister down to 6 right now. Rob is all the way down to 7th position. Aldilfa still about a second behind, starting to improve his gap there right now by about 2/10, and he's catching up and trying to get by pretty soon as we get further down to the end of the race. We're on lap 22 of 26 right now, but 4.5 laps left to go before we get to the end of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix here right now. And a pretty interesting race going on with the last 13 drivers that we have remaining in the race here right now. And currently we're following on with Scotty once again as he's chasing down Raceway for the final podium position in this race. That's P3 there. Crooksy and Johnny Stokes leading quite comfortably out front. They're definitely going to be able to hold on to their positions, provided they don't get any penalties, of course. We got a bit of an issue with Wooly down in the back there. I think he might have clipped that car into the wall a bit and lost a bit of front wing. Let's see if we can have a look at him here right now. And he's got Matt going. I think he's retired off of the session here right now. So he's retired off of the session. Scotty is still chasing after Raceway. Let's see how close that gap is getting. And the TRS is very powerful down that pit straight as they get on through, especially if your car has a lot more straight line speed. And that is going to be Scotty there. Going up into P3, takes away the final podium position away from Raceway and puts him down to P4. And already has a gap of half a second and getting ahead. So it doesn't look like Raceway is going to be able to catch up to get that position back there. He's going to have to settle there for P4 right now. But Scotty getting up into P3 here right now. So Johnny Stokes still running there in P2. So looking very good right now for the Alfa Romeo drivers. P2, P3 finish, both of them on the podium. Crooksy there finishing for Haas on the podium as well. If that continues all the way to lap 26, we'll see how that works out, because anything could happen getting down to the end of this race here right now. Going down to the back there with 10th with Barry Burks. He is chasing after Love Hate Games there in the next Haas at the moment, and trying to get a position up if he can, up at the 9th, to try and get at least a little bit more points if possible. Let's see how that is working out for him here right now though, because gap is pretty close, and we're trying to keep an eye there on Frank Efron as well, because he's chasing after Raceway for 4th position, and the gap is breaking down pretty quickly. So I want to have a look at that to see what's happening there as well here right now, because it's looking like Raceway might be losing this position before the end of the race. We're on lap 23 and going. He needs to hold on for just a few more laps if he wants to keep that position going on through in the race here. But let's follow on through with Frank here, see if he's able to catch up to that Ferrari and get by down the pit straight here right now, which we know is one of the best overtaking opportunities that you do have on this track as you get on through. Frank is maintaining that gap of half a second, so he might get a good run down the pit straight, and trying to use a bit of slipstream here right now. He's going to get very close up the Raceway. Is he going to get close enough to get an overtake down into turn 1? I don't think so though. So he gets pretty close up. Scotty there trying to build a gap of over a second between himself and Raceway to get him out of the DRS advantage that he has there right now. And let's see if the DRS is going to help Frank get by Raceway here on this part of the track. And looks like it might. He does have quite a bit of a straight line speed getting through, and that's going to be him up into 4th position. That's Raceway down 2 positions so far in a few laps, and unfortunately for him, he was looking like he was going to finish on the podium, but things do tend to change around at the end of our race here. Rob into the pits there right now, getting on to fresh softs. Might be trying for fastest lap in this race to see if that's going to work out for him. So currently out front. Crooksy still leads. I'm now about 10.7 seconds. Scotty there 5 seconds behind that, and he has a gap of 1.4 seconds with Frank down there in P4. So he's looking pretty good for that player right now. We don't have any more drivers taking any penalties in this race so far. We got Raceway there. He's about just under a second behind Frank and chasing him down still for that position. Barry there up in the 90s, chasing a Love Hit Games for 8th position here right now, and gap is about half a second. Raceway getting pretty close back to Frank here. Let's see if he's going to be able to get that position back up as they're getting into sector 3 here right now. Let's see, he might have a good run on him down through getting into turn 1, and might be able to use a bit of DRS advantage through the track to try and get that position back along with his overtake. Let's see how that's going to go. And he's already putting on that overtake, using it as much as he can, trying to get a DRS advantage, which he's going to get. And looks like he might get a good run getting down into turn 1. Let's see if he's able to get a position back into P4. Frankie looks like he's going to try and block him off just a little bit, but not able to. Has to let him go by. And looks like he gets the position up here right now. Back up into P4. Raceway goes. He's going to have to hold it off for another 2 laps if he wants to keep it in P4 for the race here. Oh, and a bit of contact between the two of them. That pushes the Ferrari into the wall a bit. And might have, yep, definitely took some damage. Lister looks like he's getting up into P5 there right now. That's going to put Raceway down into P6. That might be an incident that's going to be reported at the end of the race. I'm not sure. Was a little bit of a harsh tap, that more than expected between the two cars. I'm not sure if Frank missed a bit of his braking zone there to have that happen, or if that was intentional or not. But that definitely looks like it's going to be an incident involving the two of them being reported at the end of the race there. And stewards will have to deal with that appropriately and see what's going to happen with that, because that did just cost Raceway 2 positions in this race as he gets us on through. Lister back up into P5. He's going to lose that position because of the penalty that he has there, though, as we get on through lap 25 here right now going. And gap is still right about where it is right now, about 0.7 of a second, as he's chasing now Frank there for P4. And then we got down in the back Barry still chasing on Love Hit Games for P8 there, I think that is, yep. And you see that battle continues on through, and keep an eye on the gaps. He is still being very constant around half a second there right now, and not going anywhere else at the moment. But so far so good for the 13 drivers remaining, and 12 drivers remaining. Unfortunate for Willie Mammoth, he's out of this race. Was looking like he might be able to finish a race, and but unfortunately not. So no points once again for him there. Following on with Lister here right now, looks like he might get a position up on Frank and use all of his overtake, using his DRS advantage, and he's going to get a good run on Frank getting down into turn 1 here right now. It's still side by side a little bit as he gets back on the racing line. Let's see if Frank is able to get back around him. Unfortunately for now, no, he's going to have to hold off in P5, and Algeria for now takes away P6. Raceway is down to 7. Oh, Raceway gets back up here right now, and is he doing this on the with a broken wing here at the moment? I'm not sure. Let's have a look what's happening down in the back here, because Barry Borbs is trying to get by Love Hit Games still as well. Trying to have a look at Raceway's car here right now is 1.8 seconds behind Algeria for the moment. And we're on the final lap of this race here right now, guys, as we get on through. Where is Crooksy at the moment? As he gets around, he is about to finish his lap here pretty soon. So let's see who's looking good for driver of the day here right now. So it looks like Lister is actually looking pretty good for driver of the day. Depending on where he finishes though with that 10-second penalty, he might be just one position down there. So Crooksy here started this race in P1, and looks like he's going to finish the race right there on pole position as well for the podium. So looking pretty good. Did have a bit of issue, I think, in the race during with the safety car and whatnot, but he's looking pretty good here right now as he gets across the line and takes a pole position win for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix here. And we got Johnny Sus coming around. He's going to be going across that line and taking 2nd place here right now. And not too bad for his team, because he has his teammate Scotty there coming just behind him to take 3rd place on the podium there as well. So that's a P2, P3 finish there for Alfa Romeo. So pretty good amount of points for them. We got Frank finishing P4. We got Lister finishing P5. And let's see how that's working out with penalties. So I was good for 11 seconds behind. So he's going to finish right there in P6 right now as he gets across the line here right now. And then we got Love Hit Games. He's coming around for P7 here at the moment, with Big Iris just behind him. He's going to be taking P8. And we got Raceway taking 9, Darson takes 10, Barry Bob takes 11th, and Rob should be coming around to take 12th position in this race. So unfortunate that only 12 drivers were able to finish this race here, but does happen that way sometimes. We're gonna have one last look at the results here, guys, before we get off to the end of the session. And driver of the day does still go to Lister. They just dropped one position down, I think, because of that 10-second penalty. But good racing from him. They get quite a few overtakes done and had a bit of a battle going on for quite a while in the race there as well. So great racing from the guys who got to finish the race. Unfortunate for the drivers who are not able to finish this race here. So we got a Haas and both Alfa Romeo drivers on the podium for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix here. So let's have a look at our final results there. So we do have Prix finishing on pole position for this race. He started on pole, finished on pole. Great race for him. Looks like Darson takes fastest lap in the race, and Lister there takes driver of the day. So Johnny Stokes finished here in second, Scotty there finished third, Frank there finished fourth, Lister finished fifth, Aljufa finishes sixth, Love It Games in seventh, Big Irish there eighth, Raceway there in ninth. We got Darson there in 10, Barry Bobs 11, Rob there in 12, Woolly Mammoth and the rest of the grid did not finish, so 13 for him, Vagilis 14, Tierney Hawk 15, Masbaron 16, Nice Sniper 17, Doji 18, James there 19, and Epic Lad there 20 on the grid for that. So good job on Darson for getting fastest lap, and good job on Lister for getting driver of the day. Congratulations to Crooksy there for the race win, and Johnny Stokes and Scotty for getting both Alfa Romeo cars onto the podium. They're good evening of racing for them. So guys, thank you guys for joining on to the session, and please guys don't forget to leave a like on the stream, and remember, if you're new here, do make sure you subscribe to the channel. We do have a few races happening during the course of the week, and a bit of an announcement. I am going to be lighting off the stream load on the channel for the week for just a bit over the course of the next few days. I'll be deciding what exactly I'll do about that, but some information coming on that a bit later on, guys. So thank you guys once again for joining on the session.